Professor Veltar had made what he thought was a simple request. For their final project in Practical Problem Solving 301, each student would present a challenge from their homeworld and demonstrate the solution. He expected the usual fare: mathematical puzzles from the logic-oriented Zethari, crystalline growth patterns from the silicon-based Quartzians, perhaps a navigation challenge from the spacefaring Voidlings. He hadn't expected 16-year-old Marcus Chin to stand up with a backpack full of what looked like random junk. For my presentation, Marcus announced to the mixed-species classroom, "I'm going to show you how to survive in the wilderness for 3 days with only basic supplies. This is standard curriculum for human teenagers on Earth." Dr. Zixlin, a mantis-like hexapod, tilted her compound eyes in confusion. "Survive? In wilderness? Are these technical terms?" "Oh, it's easy," Marcus said cheerfully, emptying his backpack. Out tumbled items that made no sense to the alien students: a metal container, some rope, a reflective blanket, a knife, matches, and what appeared to be random organic matter. Professor Veltar's tentacles writhed nervously. "Perhaps you could explain the parameters of this survival scenario?" "Sure. You're dropped in a forest with just these supplies. You need to find or make shelter, locate clean water, start a fire, and find food. Basic stuff every human kid learns in school." The classroom fell silent. Catherine, a gelatinous being from a world of perpetual comfort, quivered visibly. "But where are the environmental controls? The nutrition dispensers? The atmospheric processors? You don't have those," Marcus explained patiently. "That's the point. You have to improvise." He began his demonstration by using the knife to cut branches, an action that made several students retreat behind their protective barriers. "First, shelter. You want something that blocks wind and rain, but allows air circulation." The alien students watched in growing horror as Marcus built what he called a lean-to, using nothing but sticks, leaves, and rope. To them, it looked like a pile of organic debris. To Marcus, it was a perfectly functional shelter. "Next, water," he continued, pulling out the metal container. "You never drink from unknown sources without purification. Fire's the easiest method, but you can also use filtration." He demonstrated a water filter made from layers of cloth, sand, and charcoal he created by burning wood in a specific way. The process involved handling fire, toxic smoke, and unprocessed natural materials, things that would kill most species in the classroom. Pipsqueak, a small crystalline being, chimed in confusion. "Why not simply request delivery of pure H2O from the atmospheric reclamation systems?" "Because there aren't any," Marcus said, starting a fire with matches and dry tinder. "In survival situations, you only have what's around you." The fire sent most of the class fleeing to the far side of the room. Uncontrolled combustion was considered an extreme hazard by galactic safety standards. "Finally, food," Marcus said, pulling out what looked like random plant matter. "You need to know what's safe to eat versus what will kill you." He began sorting through leaves, berries, and roots with casual expertise. "These are edible, these are medicinal, and these," he held up some innocent-looking berries, "would cause organ failure in most mammals." Professor Veltar's skin had gone completely pale. "You expect juvenile humans to distinguish between nutrition and poison using only visual identification?" "Well, yeah. Plus smell, taste tests, knowledge of plant families, understanding of local ecosystems." Marcus shrugged. "Like I said, it's basic stuff." He then demonstrated food preparation techniques that involved more fire, sharp implements, and the consumption of organisms that hadn't been processed by any food safety authority. Dr. Zixlin raised a trembling appendage. "What is the mortality rate for this educational exercise?" "Mortality rate?" Marcus looked confused. "Oh, you mean deaths?" pretty much zero, as long as you pay attention to what you're doing. We've been teaching this stuff for thousands of years." The class exchanged horrified glances. Zelnoth, a gaseous being who lived in a controlled atmospheric chamber, somehow managed to faint despite having no solid form. "Mr. Chin," Professor Veltar said weakly, "are you telling us that on your homeworld, children are routinely placed in life-threatening situations as part of their education?" "Life-threatening?" Marcus laughed. "This is just camping. We do this for fun. Life-threatening would be like mountaineering in winter, or whitewater rafting, or cave exploration." He paused, noting their expressions. "Oh, come on. It's not that dangerous. Earth kids do way more extreme stuff than this. My little sister went bungee jumping for her 13th birthday." The silence that followed was broken only by the sound of Catherine dissolving into a puddle of stress-induced liquefaction. Professor Veltar made a note to himself. Revised curriculum to include a warning that problems from Death Worlds should not be attempted by non-Death World species. Marcus's easy homework had inadvertently revealed that what humans considered basic childhood education was actually advanced survival training that would challenge the galaxy's most elite special forces. Marcus, meanwhile, was already planning his next presentation on simple home repairs, involving power tools, electrical work, and something called load-bearing walls. Professor Veltar decided he needed a vacation on a nice, safe, artificial space station. Preferably one with no humans, and definitely no homework assignments.